Hello and welcome back. In the last couple of videos, we created the different services that we are going to be needing. We created the Redis service, MongoDB, MySQL, Postgres, RabbitMQ, Elasticsearch, and Kibana. Now we want to run these services, okay? Now, with Docker Compose, we can either run them in a detached mode or we can run them in the attached mode, whereby they will just take over the console. So we are going to run them in the detached mode, okay? And first, make sure that you have your Docker is running, your Docker service is running. I'm using Docker Desktop, okay? So make sure it's, your Docker service is running. Now, the command I'm going to use, I will just write it here, okay? So it's going to be Docker Compose up -d. So the -d represents detached mode. So we want the services to be executed in the detached mode so that we can do other things with the console. Because if you don't run it in the detached mode, then it will start, you will see all the logs in the console, but you will have to open another console if you want to do something else, okay? Yeah, I'm running them in the detached mode because I have the Docker Desktop. So we can, if there's any error, I can easily check for the errors from the Docker Desktop, okay? And now to run them, you use the service name, not the container name, okay? To run the services, you use the service names and not the container names, okay? So I want to run Redis, MongoDB, MySQL, Postgres, RabbitMQ, Elasticsearch, and Kibana. So this is the command, okay, that I will use to run these services. Now note, some of these services will start quickly, but running them for the very first time, it will take a lot of time because it will first need to download the images, okay, onto your local machine. It will check if the images already exist. If they don't exist, it will download the images on your local machine. And then after, once it downloads, and then subsequently, if you run them, it will be faster, okay? So for this first time, if you're running them for the first time, if you don't have any of these images on your local machine, it will take a lot of time, okay? So I'll just open the terminal, okay? And make sure you are running it where you have your Docker Compose YAML file, okay? So I'll paste this here, Docker Compose up -d, Redis, MongoDB, and the rest, okay? So I'll hit enter. Now, I'll just pause the video, okay, because this will take some time for them to run, okay? Once it's done, we'll continue. Okay, so I have issue with Postgres. It says this part is invalid, so let me check it. So I'll go to Postgres right here. Okay, here. There's supposed to be a / here at the beginning. Okay, let me check other to see that they are working fine. Okay, so I made a mistake. There was supposed to be a / right here before the var. Okay, so I'll go back and continue. Okay, right here you can see all the containers have started. Okay, I don't have any issues. Now if I go to Docker Desktop, you can see, yeah, it's the root folder where you have your Docker Compose file will be used as the root, okay? So you can see I have RabbitMQ running, MySQL, Elasticsearch, MongoDB, Redis, Kibana, Postgres. Now, there's something important that I need to point out that you need to know. For Elasticsearch, okay? Elasticsearch takes around somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes before it is up and running. Okay, it's very important because once we start creating our services and maybe for some reason you restarted your Docker service, you restarted the container. If you restart the container and then immediately run service or with whatever service that is connected to Elasticsearch, you will get errors saying, okay, cannot connect. The reason is because Elasticsearch and Kibana, it takes somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. So for Elasticsearch, you have to wait around 10 minutes, okay, maximum 10 minutes. if there are no issues for it to be up and running. Okay, so that is very, very important, because once we start creating it and then maybe you get to a point, you run a service, you restart your Elasticsearch container and you immediately start your service, and then you start seeing errors. You might be wondering, okay, where is this error coming from? Okay, note that Elasticsearch takes somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. And then for the other containers, yeah, they take less than 5 minutes. Okay, you can check the logs, you can monitor logs. Okay, now it says Postgres is ready to start. Okay, we can check other services as well, RabbitMQ. Okay, so this is one reason why I really like using the Docker desktop, because it gives access to the terminal, gives me access to logs. Okay, no information displayed there, but we can for now assume that, okay, the services are running. This is Elasticsearch is still starting. Okay, I will stop here. All the services are running. I will just leave them running. Maybe in the next video we'll try to see how we can access maybe the Kibana dashboard. Okay, or maybe we can access MongoDB.